Elon Musk just made it clear that he wants to save humanity. What's it like to live on Mars? Everything you need to know before visiting the Red Planet is here in this video. Hey guys, welcome back to our channel Elon Musk World, where we tell you all the latest news about Elon Musk and his multi-billion-dollar companies. In today's video, we are going to tell you about a step-by-step guide to Mars, as traveling in space can make you anemic. The world's wealthiest man has frequently stated his desire to send a SpaceX rocket carrying humans to Mars, but his earlier predictions may have been overly optimistic. He previously told CNBC that he was highly confident that the company would land humans on Mars by 2026. However, on the Lex Fridman Podcast this week, the controversial billionaire stated that the company would be there in as little as 5 years, but that was a best-case scenario. He estimates that it would take another 10 years in the worst-case scenario. SpaceX's Starship rocket is the most complex and advanced rocket that's ever been made, and engineering it was one of the determining factors of the timeline, Musk told Fridman. Currently, that work will cost trillions of dollars, but he told Fridman that he was working on lowering the cost. The fundamental optimization of Starship is to reduce the cost per ton to orbit, and eventually to the surface of Mars, he said. But thinking about cost is secondary when the most important thing is survival, whether people can survive in the outer world. According to a new study involving Tim Peake, space travel causes more than a third of astronauts to become temporarily anemic by destroying a large number of red blood cells. However, this does not cause problems until they land because the symptoms only appear within gravity. According to researchers, the discovery of space anemia means that hopes of colonizing other planets, such as those of billionaire Elon Musk, may be more difficult to achieve than previously thought. They also suggested that it could prevent people at risk of heart failure, angina, chest pains, and other conditions made worse by anemia from participating in the fledgling space tourism industry. 5 of the 13 astronauts studied became clinically anemic when they returned to Earth after a 6-month space mission, according to the researchers, because their bodies destroyed 54% more blood cells in space than they would have on Earth. Mr. Peake may or may not have been one of the 5. They were usually back to normal within 3 to 4 months, but they were exhausted and weak during that time. So in this scenario, Elon Musk has just released a step-by-step guide for traveling to Mars. For years, Elon Musk has stated that establishing a city on Mars will ensure that the human race is safe from an extinction-level event, such as an asteroid strike on Earth. However, until recently, there were few details about he intended to do so. During a speech at the International Astronautical Congress in Guadalajara, Mexico, Musk shared his vision for a future society on Mars with the world. Musk detailed SpaceX's plans to deliver humans to the surface of Mars during his presentation, beginning with crewed flights in 2024 and working up to bringing 100 people to Martian surface with each launch. But now that we have a better understanding of SpaceX's plans, how does the company intend to get us to Mars? The actual flights to Mars from Earth, according to the video released by SpaceX in conjunction with Musk's talk on Tuesday, will have a lot of moving parts. To begin with, a massive yet-to-be-built rocket that is more powerful than any other will need to launch a spaceship carrying at least 100 people into orbit around Earth before returning to the planet. Once back on solid ground, the rocket will be loaded with a propellant tank, which will be launched to fuel the human-carrying spaceship, which, according to Musk, will travel to Mars in about 90 days. If SpaceX can land a rocket on a launch pad and place a new payload on top of it almost instantly, it will help reduce the cost of spaceflight even more by recycling hardware that would otherwise be obsolete after one use. The company also hopes to refuel spaceships in low Earth orbit, which would save money by reducing the amount of weight they need to launch into space all at once. Following refueling, the ships would deploy their impressive solar arrays and depart for Mars, coasting for about 90 days before entering Mars's atmosphere and landing upright on its surface. And Musk isn't done yet. He wants to use Mars as a launching pad for humanity to travel to other parts of the solar system, speculating that SpaceX's interplanetary transport system could fly to Enceladus, Saturn's moon, or Europa, Jupiter's moon. This plan appears to be extremely ambitious and unwieldy, but it is also grounded in reality, according to Musk. The artist's depictions of SpaceX's flight systems are entirely based on what the company hopes to fly in the future. Despite the fanfare surrounding Musk's announcement, it is still light on details, leading to many questions unanswered for the company before any humans set foot on a Mars-bound spacecraft. Musk glossed over the need for life support systems on the spacecraft that people will travel aboard to get to Mars, and it's unclear how much radiation Mars-bound explorers will be exposed to during their journey. We also should know, Mars is much less dense than Earth, with only about 11% of the mass of Earth. Because Mars has less mass, its surface gravity is only about 38% that of Earth. So a person weighing 220 pounds or 100 kilograms on Earth would only weigh about 84 pounds or 38 kilograms on Mars. Please add me to the list. While the prospect of weighing less on Mars is appealing, astronauts have demonstrated that prolonged exposure to less than Earth's gravity can have negative consequences for the body, including muscle loss, bone density loss, and organ function loss. Low gravity has been shown to have a negative impact on eyesight as well. Because Mars is 143 million miles or 230 million kilometers from the Sun, while Earth is only 93 million miles or 150 million kilometers, each of Mars's seasons is significantly cooler than those on Earth. While Earth's North Pole points to Star Polaris, or the North Star, Mars's North Pole points to a point in the sky halfway between Deneb and Alderman, in the constellation Cygnus, the Swan. Because of its colder temperatures, Mars has a higher concentration of low boiling point elements than Earth, including chlorine, phosphorus, magnesium, sodium, potassium, and sulfur. Plants require some of these elements to grow. Silicium, oxygen, iron, magnesium, aluminum, calcium, and potassium are the most abundant elements in the Mars crust. Mars, unlike Earth, lacks a global magnetic field, though parts of its crust are magnetized. Indeed, Mars may have experienced the same magnetic polarity reversals that occur on Earth billions of years ago. Before you pack your bags for a trip to Mars, keep in mind that the lack of magnetic field and the extremely thin atmosphere, which won't provide adequate protection from the solar wind, will make the planet uninhabitable. Due to the lack of atmospheric pressure on Mars, water cannot be retained in the liquid state, and it will instead sublimate from a solid to a gas. You might be lonely on Mars unless you bring friends with you. The Spirit, Opportunity, Phoenix, and Curiosity rovers have all failed to find any evidence of life on Mars. Organic compounds in 3 billion-year-old sedimentary rocks were discovered on Mars. This implies that some of the chemical building blocks required for life existed on Mars at some point in the past. Scientists discovered the first known stable body of liquid water on Mars in July 2018. It's a subglacial lake at the base of the southern polar ice cap that's nearly a mile or 1.5 kilometers below the surface and 12 miles or 20 kilometers wide. Here are polar caps and sun-baked deserts, and this red rocky one is the most similar to home, colossal volcanoes and massive canyons. Even though it is further away from the Sun and takes twice as long to circle it, Mars spins at about the same speed as Earth, making a Martian day only about 40 minutes longer than ours. Seasons can be identified in a long Martian year. And this is it for today, guys. What are your thoughts? Tell us in the comments section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And thank you for watching.